Next Tuesday, 1 week away from today at 4 o'clock, the Browns have to be down to their 53-man roster, at least that initial 53-man roster. Let's welcome in G. Bush. He is the host of Barbershop 92.3 The Fan. You can also catch him on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. G. Bush, the battle for those final few spots on the roster, going into this final week of preseason. Who do you think is fighting for a roster spot? Who needs to kind of show up?
Man, I go right to the defensive tackle position. You got a couple guys. You got Jordan Elliott, Taven Bryan. They have him listed as a starter here on the depth chart, but Perrion Winfrey sure did get a lot of snaps there on the preseason game about a week ago. The thing about Perrion Winfrey is, you look at his grade, 47%. It wasn't something like it was like, it was going to jump up and bite you. And it looks like he has a lot of work to do. Tommy Togiai didn't fare much better. I think his grade was in the 50s. We look at that defensive line. You got a Roderick Perry II. Glenn Logan is in that area. I think the defensive tackles will probably get 5 of those guys. So you're looking between Roderick Perry and Glenn Logan to see who was going to be the odd man out here. And at defensive end, it's a lot more guys, right? I look at a guy like Curtis Weaver, and I think Curtis Weaver is a guy that might be out. Isaiah Thomas obviously had a really good first game. He had a lot of production. I look at Curtis Weaver in the game last week against the Eagles. Defensive line wasn't really doing much up front. So I would think Curtis Weaver's name is up there as well. And then we look at a guy like, a few guys, Chris Odom, Isaac Rochelle. Those guys look to be fighting for a position as well. So I think there's one guy that's going to get it between those 3 guys, Curtis Weaver, Isaac Rochelle, and Chris Odom. And then we look at, a linebacker. I think Tony Fields has played pretty well. He's been running all over the place. I think that will linebacker position between Tony Fields and Will Harvey Jr., who played a lot. I think that's a camp battle as well. Tony Fields is a guy that did draft. He's a guy that fits into the mold of versatility, but Willie Harvey Jr. has not played really terribly himself. And then I would go to the wide receiver position. I think Mike Harley Jr., Javon Wims, Dalen Baldwin, those guys, and Jamarcus Bradley even are fighting for a couple positions there as well, because I think Michael Woods, what he did in camp so far, probably put him into a position where he's going to be the guy that's going to get that nod. I think they like Mike Woods a lot at what he was able to give them. So you look at Donovan Peoples-Jones, David Bell, Mike Woods, Amari Cooper, Anthony Schwartz. That's 5 right there. And then don't forget, you still have Demetric Felton, who they're probably going to keep on the roster as a receiver and kick returner, but he's technically a running back. Then I think he'll be on the roster as a receiver too. That's 6. That possibly lets them keep one more. So I think it's up in the air with that. But I think those are where the major battles are coming from. And ironically, it's for the positions that they're the weakest at, because no one's really jumped out and took that position.